Here we go, guys. Our first match between MEOWMEOW and YUMARU. Pre-bans getting locked in. Shizuka and Gianna getting pre-banned.
Yeah, so obviously I think the pre-bans from YUMARU are going to be pretty set. It's going to be Gianna and probably Oliver's to prevent some sort of cleaving action here, or potentially Nephthys. And what's the things you want to pay attention to are what MEOWMEOW is pre-banning here. Taking out the Shizuka means that MEOWMEOW is going to probably aim to go for more of a turn 1 type play. So he goes with the Tianlang early. I think this is a little early for a Tianlang. It's okay when you have so many LDs, so perfectly fine here. Tianlang, Masha, actually probably some units that I respond with to Oliver. So great picks by MEOWMEOW here. It has the option if he wants a cleave or not, because Praha and Tesla tend to be a little bit on the slower side, 270s, and Tesla's around 250s, give or take. This pick here is going to tell you what tempo he wants to drive this at, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Robos and Nephthys Robos, things like that, and start to just cleave his opponent down.
Yeah, definitely. I think MEOWMEOW has the ability to bring a lot more aggression here, and that aggression is going to be coming out right now. We see a Dominic getting laid down onto the field after seeing a Pra Tessarian being dropped. YUMARU looking to respond with these two last picks here.
So these units here all tend to be around the 270, 280 range here. He does have a speed lead, but he is opening himself up to being countercleaved. Now this is a lot of single target damage here, but if YUMARU picks up like some sort of a Changpeng or Robos, and MEOWMEOW is susceptible to a cleave as called. So in this situation here, if I'm MEOWMEOW, I'm looking to ban out that Robo G92 potentially, and looking to survive and looking to counter whatever's left. That's probably how you would disrupt the cleave of YUMARU, because YUMARU does, instead of bringing in a Changpeng or some sort of AoE unit, decided to bring in a Changpeng.
Interesting. So Riley's going to be the last pick. MEOWMEOW is going to wrap up his draft here. I'm not too sure how I feel about seeing this Riley, though.
Yeah, I'm not so sure how I feel about this Riley either, but it could make sense given the fact that YUMARU is not 100% into cleave. The Riley gives him a little bit of a backdrop to a little bit of safety net, but of course the Riley banned out here. So we're going to see this Praha open up, and it's going to come down to how fast this Tomo is, and how fast this Oliver is, and how much control that they're going to give him off the bat.
Well, turn one's going right to YUMARU with the Praha. Praha looking for a full strip, not getting that full strip, only stripping the Tianlang.
Yeah, so unfortunately, YUMARU not able to strip very much, but you're going to see this Tianlang do a lot of work here. Tianlang's so good into Tomo here, and Tianlang also so good into Oliver. So YUMARU's going to need to make it a priority to have his Tesla get Oblivion onto this Tianlang, and then look to survive some damage from the Dominic and Masha off the bat.
Whoa, that's a big additional turn right there. Tianlang's going to get removed from the field.
Yeah, that's an absolutely massive proc there. Allows him to remove that Tianlang early. But this is going to be a trade here. We're going to see this Oliver potentially go down once this Masha starts doing some damage.
Yeah, well, there goes the Tianlang. Tianlang's dropped from the field. Masha is here, ready to get rid of that Oliver. Let's see if he chooses to take that Oliver down here. And he does. That brain effect will bring plenty of damage for Masha to take that unit out here. A nice little Despair Stun going out in the Nephthys. A little bit of damage coming towards Dominic. Dominic's going to be the next one to draft. YUMARU looking so good right now.
Yeah, YUMARU definitely looking so good here. MEOWMEOW on the back foot here. There's no way this Masha's going to take out these 3 units here. And YUMARU just showing great control of AoE and a lot of damage that he's able to do here, and takes out that Tianlang early. So MEOWMEOW on the back foot, down 0-1, and needs to figure out how to better use his LDs.
Yep, beautiful branding landing there. YUMARU taking that round 1 victory over MEOWMEOW.
And then I would say in that draft there, it came down to the fact that that proc from that Tesla is so big from the side of YUMARU, able to proc and then basically take out that Tianlang in 1 pop. And I think even without that proc though, there'd be a lot of damage coming from that Oliver onto that Tianlang as well. So I think in this situation, MEOWMEOW drafted a little bit too slow. You know, he had a Riley at the end to protect him, right? But that was banned out. And I think some of the units didn't quite synergize enough. They all kind of did the same thing, right? The Dominic, the Mashas, they all kind of do the same thing. The Tianlang is great, but you need a way to protect your Tianlang or utilize it for aggression early. So that's kind of what you need to do. If you bring in Tianlang and then bring in 2 heavy damage dealers, you're going to be stuck in situations where you can get opened on. And once you get opened on, a lot of different things can happen. So, you know, we'll see if MEOWMEOW is able to bend the draft in a different way so it's a little bit more consistent for him. Otherwise, I think YUMARU, being the underdog here, is going to be able to use some units at higher speeds and potentially look to steal this one from him.
Well, that's definitely what could happen here if we see a performance like he already did in that first match. YUMARU is looking pretty good for round 2 here. Definitely excited to see, but we do have a lot of things MEOW has in store they could be bringing to the table that could really surprise YUMARU.
Yeah, I mean, MEOWMEOW has all of the LDs you could possibly think about or ask for. Having matched up against him many times in the ladder, there's a lot of things in his toolbox. So it'll be interesting to see if he wants to go with a similar style of draft or if he wants to change it. It's all up to him because he has the LDs and can kind of change the draft to however he wants. This first pick is going to be very indicative of how he wants to go, and I think a Gianna probably makes sense. Yeah, there we go. So we see a Gianna because it's a pretty neutral pick in this situation. It allows him to play fast, play slow. And so YUMARU is probably going to need to rely on some sort of, if he wants to cleave, some sort of like a more Masha would make sense. Or if he wants to play turn 2-ish, a Masha Shizuka would also be acceptable here as well.
Well, let's see what happens because that Masha is going to be hitting the field, and the Nana is going to be the next unit coming out for YUMARU. And then very quickly, the Shizuka is exactly what was on MEOWMEOW's mind here, and then a Praha is going to get laid down as well.
Yeah, so I believe in the previous matches, MEOWMEOW's Gianna was Swift. I could be wrong, it might be violent, but I thought it was Swift. And if it's violent, he is susceptible to cleave at this moment. If it's on Swift, he has a very well-rounded draft, and he's going to be in a good spot here. YUMARU decides he wants to cleave. This is a pretty high commitment to cleave when you draft a Robo G92 with two picks left on your opponent's side. So MEOWMEOW at this point here likely going to take a Tianlang. I think a Tianlang is a must, and probably a Juno. Juno Tianlang would be pretty strong, and he could likely just ban out the last pick and pray the Masha doesn't proc from YUMARU.
Well, let's see if he lays down that Juno. The Juno really would be a perfect pick, especially against that Tomo. And it looks like Miles is going to be the unit that MEOWMEOW is going to lock down, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Miles because Miles is not very consistent with S2. That strip is that stun is like 50%, right? And then the strip is subject to act res check. So he has a less than 50% chance to stun something off the bat. YUMARU going with the Delphoid pick. Interesting. It tells me that he's leaving the Tianlang on the field potentially. Probably needs to ban out either the Shizuka or the Gianna in this position here and let that Masha go to work. And if I'm MEOWMEOW, I think that Masha provides the most volatility in this matchup. If you take out that Masha, there's not a lot of damage on YUMARU's side here. So I think that's where my head would be at if I were these two competitors making those bans. I think overall I favor MEOWMEOW's side a little bit just because LDs tend to be pretty thick there. It's a lot of damage. Instead, we see the Gianna Delphoid bans out, which are kind of interesting. So as long as YUMARU does not proc on the Masha, MEOWMEOW is going to be in a pretty good spot because he has resilience on the Praha to heal, and he has a Tianlang that's going to dampen every single unit on YUMARU's side. So I think MEOWMEOW's chance of winning went up from like 60-40 to probably 70-30 or higher in this situation. So it comes down to stuns and a little bit of RNG, but I think MEOWMEOW's in a good spot off the bat from the draft.
Well, let's see what happens here, because that Wind Robo is going to be kicking things off here for YUMARU. YUMARU looking for a full team strip, not stripping the Shizuka, though, but we've got skills up for the Masha, not landing that defense break on top of that Tianlang.
Yeah, not landing that defense break is absolutely huge there, but is able to spread that stun around there, but not landing the defense break assures that the Tianlang is alive for a little bit longer here. So pretty lucky by MEOWMEOW to resist that. But again, YUMARU just needs to tunnel that Tianlang and eventually get that unit down so he can allow his Robo G92 to get to work.
Yep, Tianlang not looking so healthy right now. Masha with his sights on that Tianlang for sure. We've got Miles looking to try and deal just about anything right now. Could be a little bit of poke damage, tech bar pushback on that Tomo, or he's going to continue going after the Masha, looking for that dismount.
Wow, that's a lot of stuns there. 2 stuns going out from that Tianlang there. A lot of damage there. Big heal coming out from the Praha here. So MEOWMEOW is basically taking control of tempo here and is putting YUMARU on the back foot. YUMARU needs to score a kill on that Tianlang because it's disrupting his entire team here. But unfortunately, that Tianlang is at full HP here, and there aren't really any cooldowns on the side of YUMARU.
It looks like MEOWMEOW is going to be going after that Wind Row potentially. I don't think he's going to go and try to finish off this, even though there's an orb up with the Nana. Is there an orb with the Nana?
There's definitely an orb up on the Nana here. here, but at the same time, MEOWMEOW just has so much resilience on his team here. He almost has skill 3 on the Shizuka, almost has heal again on the Praha, and Praha, of course, cycles, has speed buff. So again, MEOWMEOW's just in such a great spot here. All the bursts from YUMARU's side is fire-based, and there's so many water units on the side of MEOWMEOW.
It's a very interesting decision to take down the Masha, knowing it would be revived back onto the mount, but stuns are gone out. Win Robo putting in that work.
That is absolutely correct. Kind of an interesting choice to take out that Masha here, because that Masha now has the ability to defense break, and that's a massive proc there. Provides a defense break onto the Tian lane there, so we're going to see an orb stack up on that Nana here, and YUMARU might be coming back ahead here and able to just maintain control with that Robo G92.
Yeah, YUMARU with honestly the great draft, taking advantage of potentially a bad decision MEOWMEOW was making here. Masha looking to get dismounted soon. But this defense breaks it on top. Shizuka with the additional turns rolling out. There's not going to be enough. Finishes off the Shizuka. Looking so good for YUMARU.
YUMARU looking so good here. Probably going to take this 2-0 here. He's got 2 stacks up on that Nana. Does have a Masha. It's a very well-ruined Masha here. So this Masha, even though these are 2 water units here, there's also that Robo G92 that's going to give him control over time. It's very difficult for Miles and Praha to deal with this Robo here. So YUMARU looking so good here.
If there's that Karma and is going to land on top of that Praha. And the Karma is going to get spread to that Miles as well. Looking to get the stuns. Gets both stuns in here with that Wind Robo. He needs to get rid of the Miles, and I think that's definitely going to be GG it for YUMARU.
Yeah, definitely GG. Doesn't even need a crit on that Masha here. Just 2 orbs on that Nana. Just too much to deal with. And again, that Wind Robo just does so much here. Does so much control with skill 2 and skill 3. There's just no way MEOWMEOW can deal with that Robo.
Yep, there's the defense break, and there you have it. YUMARU with the 2-0 right now on top of MEOWMEOW. This is getting very interesting.
Yeah, really like YUMARU's draft there. He's able to use that Robo G92 to his advantage there. Able to establish control early, and of course, MEOWMEOW going after the Masha and then allowing that Masha to revive. It's tough to deal with that. Tough to take out your opponent when you let the Masha die first, because the Masha gets dismounted and you need to basically, kill it over and over again. And also when you allow it to come back on the beast, it provides defense break and a lot of bursts off the bat. So MEOWMEOW definitely needs to go back to the drawing boards, down 0-2, which is pretty heavy here. And YUMARU just showing such great control of the draft here. Able to change between cleave and a non-cleaving draft. And basically show that he's here to play.
Yep, that the LDs don't matter as well. YUMARU not really drafting what MEOWMEOW can bring to the field here, so if he keeps this up, we could be seeing YUMARU in the final.
Yeah, I mean, he's just 1 win away from going to Korea, and all it takes is that 1 win. And right now, I like the way he's drafting. It's very consistent. You see the Wind Robos, I mean, we see the Delphoys, we see the interesting picks here. They're not LDs. He's able to use them to his advantage, draft pretty creatively here. And I would like to see MEOWMEOW think about the speeds of the draft a bit more. I don't think that that's being considered enough, or at least the assessment of threat is not quite, at least given how many picks are left, I think MEOWMEOW's overcommitting in certain times here, which is opening himself up to being cleaved at times. I think MEOWMEOW has enough tools and runes in his box that this matchup should actually be very much in his favor.
Yep, well, we've got pre-bans from last time. Oliver and Neftis, the pre-bans, they are now available. New pre-bans going to be coming out now. Curious to see, we may see some of those LDs, or we might see some regular units getting pre-banned here. Juno is going to get the pre-ban, and then Gianna is going to get the pre-ban.
Yeah, so MEOWMEOW has shifted his pre-ban a couple of times. This Juno is not something we've seen in pre-ban before. So definitely, maybe he had not done his homework down this far here. The Gianna pre-ban makes a lot of sense. I mean, YUMARU seems like he came in prepared and, picking very quickly here. We see the Masha Gio into Neftis. And again, the decision here is if he wants a cleave or not. Goes with the Robo G92, which I think is the correct pick. Did not pick it before here. But because in this situation, YUMARU has opened himself up to being cleaved. So YUMARU in this situation needs to decide if he wants to counter this cleave or if he wants to try to counter cleave that. I think in this situation, YUMARU is probably going to need to try to survive that. Maybe bring in some Mollies, Rileys, things like that. He's kind of on the back foot in this situation. MEOWMEOW's got a great draft shaping up.
Ooh, and it is going to be a Tomo is going to be the last thing that YUMARU is going to be bringing to the field here. With that Juno ban, the Tomo is going to be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, that Tomo's definitely going to be dangerous here. Yeah, we see MEOWMEOW completing the cleave here. So we're going to see the Wind Robo is going to do a lot. And if the Wind Robo gets banned out, we have a Nephthys with the AoE defense breaks coming down here. MEOWMEOW is going to be able to open this. And especially if that Moore is swift, he's definitely going to be able to open this. But YUMARU is kind of on the back foot. Tesla's definitely not a ban here. I think Tesla's a little early of a pick too, because Masha's decent into Tesla. So we're going to see an opening from MEOWMEOW here with the Moore into the Nephthys, and he's going to need to snipe something out with this Masha here, because YUMARU, he's going to need to snipe something with this Masha here.
Yep, well, here comes the third skill, looking to get his speed buffs on his team here for YUMARU to get the edge here on MEOWMEOW. Does get the strip with, and no karma is going to be landing on top of the Nephthys. Oblivion is going to be landing on top of the Nephthys as well, putting some units to sleep.
Yeah, so YUMARU actually rocking faster violent runes in this matchup here. So YUMARU might actually have the rune advantage here. Not MEOWMEOW probably wasn't aware of the fact that he was going to be outsped there. So in this situation here, YUMARU's in a good spot. He has speed buff on his team. He's going to be doing a lot of damage over time here, and he does have resilience from that Shizuka into Praha and resetting cooldowns over time. So in this situation, we're going to need to see MEOWMEOW get some procs on this Masha, or else he's going to be in trouble.
Who does get that Oblivion on top of the Masha. Masha really needs to get a proc to get out of that Oblivion here. Not going to receive it here. We've got Carmel coming out. Doesn't get the strip of the immunity on that Praha, though.
Yeah, it doesn't get the strip of the immunity, so unlucky from MEOWMEOW here. He's going to need to land a defense break, and YUMARU's going to need to find a way to down this Masha. The Masha does move in front of 3 of those units there, though, so Praha's going to need to do a lot of damage, but there is no defense break on the Masha here. So I think MEOWMEOW might be able to stabilize.
Yep, Nephthys with only that Curse to Beautiful is available. Oblivion is on it right now, but there's Curse to Beautiful landing, getting lots of value here. Additional turns going to be coming out for this Nephthys. Nephthys with a little bit of poke damage coming in.
It's a pretty big additional turn here because he's able to silence that Praha. Unfortunately, earlier did not get silences on the rest of the team here. But again, MEOWMEOW is able to shake off Oblivion from that Masha here and do some damage. YUMARU is on the back foot, needs to get some kills going.
Yep, really needs to get those kills, but now has that third skill. He's going to be healing his team up, putting everybody to sleep here. He's got the speed buff, definitely going to help him a whole lot. Tessarian looking to take out this Nephthys. Nephthys does drop.
Nephthys does drop here, and YUMARU does use that Shizuka skill 3 here, so YUMARU's going to be able to do a lot of damage with this. So much damage coming out to Masha here.
Wow.
And he has Soul Protect on all 3 units right now.
Yep, has the Soul Protection, keeping his team here safe. He's got a dismounted Masha here, with Oblivion, of course.
Yeah, and the Castle Curse is definitely alive here because the one buff was stripped was the Soul Protect. So unfortunately for YUMARU, loses that Soul Protect, and he's all of a sudden on the back foot in a losing position because of that strip from that Q.
Yep, no additional turn is going to be coming out there. No karma is going to be landing. Oblivion's still on the field. Oblivion now off the field. I think he's got to take out that unit. He does have a dot on him. A little bit of damage, no defense break is going to land. Gets the attack break, which is definitely necessary, but I think that's going to be enough to finish off that that Gio. Now it's just a lonely Tessarian. Tessarian's not going to be procced. He gets the attack break here. Triple Crush is going to be coming out, lands the defense break, and Oblivion does land with the additional turn as well. Oh, it is not enough.
Wow, what a match there, and MEOWMEOW's able to claw his way back there. It comes down to that critical moment where the Gyu was able to strip off the Soul Protect from the Shizuka. There were 3 buffs on that Shizuka, and MEOWMEOW was able to strip off the correct one. So, I mean, when you think about 1 in 3 odds, and then the odds of stripping off a buff in general, really low odds there, was able to make it through. So, pretty fortunate for MEOWMEOW there. I do like YUMARU's draft. I think the Tesla was a little bit weak because it tends to be, it didn't quite synergize well with the rest of his team. And Tesla's not exactly the best into a Masha, or at least it's not obvious that it's the best. But, you know, at the end of the day, MEOWMEOW was able to claw back, and that's the power of having good runes. And even though he was outsped off the bat, was able to find a way to win.
Yep, exactly. I mean, YUMARU almost was able to close that one down there, but you know, you got to give it to Meow for holding on here. He's going to go into game 4. He's going to give it his all here because he definitely can't lose this one. If he loses this one, YUMARU is going to be going forward here. So definitely expecting MEOWMEOW to take this one to the distance here. You may even see a little bit longer of a match here, but definitely I want to see a little bit more coming into Meow. We know he has all those LD units in the back there, so let's see what he brings to the table here. See if we can get an exciting game 4 out of them.
Yeah, definitely a lot on the line here. I mean, the winner, if YUMARU wins this, he guarantees himself a trip to Korea. And if MEOWMEOW doesn't win this, he has to go and play in the losers bracket. And only one player there makes it to Korea. Either way, they all have good odds to make it. But this is a critical match, and YUMARU is one step away from taking this home. So be interesting to see how MEOWMEOW decides to pivot and use his LDs and press his advantage there. I think overall, YUMARU has been having slightly stronger drafts, but MEOWMEOW definitely has the LDs and the potential to take over here.
Yep, pre-ban's locked in. Shizuka and Nephthys getting pre-banned here.
So we see the Shizuka Nephthys pre-ban here. MEOWMEOW likely going to reach for that Oliver first. I would like to see an Oliver first, and just or Gianna first is fine as well. But YUMARU doesn't have a Gianna, so it's also okay to take the Oliver and steal that unit. You know, it's okay to steal your opponent's unit. In this situation, taking a Gianna, taking a Tianlang is a fine opening as well. They're great units here. But at the same time, I would like to see MEOWMEOW take the Oliver first if he ever gets a chance to do that again.
Yep. Ooh, well, early Leo like that in the middle of the draft there. Leo and Tianlang getting locked in.
I think that's a little early for Leo here. It allows your opponent to pivot with Junos and things like that. We see a Tessa here and a Praha, so we might have a ban on that Leo. And I think when MEOWMEOW commits to turn 2 and slow play with a Leo on the field, I mean, we're like, I don't know what else he's going to pick here. This is kind of a weird draft. I think YUMARU's going to be able to ban the Leo, and he might even... YUMARU's likely going to play a Delphoy, ban the Leo, because Delphoy is such a good unit in this matchup here. But I think MEOWMEOW's committing a little hard to turn 2, and so, I think he ran out of time and auto-picked the Moor. So this team doesn't synergize at all. This Moor does not pair up with any of these units here. So MEOWMEOW just has such a weird draft. We saw that Delphoy last pick, and what's interesting is I didn't see a Leo ban as I expected. So this Tessarian's going to need to land its Oblivions and defense breaks, but once it does, and if it's able to survive with that Praha heal, YUMARU's going to be in a great spot.
Yep, I think so as well. I think YUMARU has a fantastic draft here, but let's see what happens, guys, as Leo kicks us off with the damage going right into that Oliver. Oliver being the unit of focus right now with the big skill 2 coming from Tianlang. Tianlang not getting any beneficial things here.
Yeah, Tianlang not stunning up anything here. So unfortunately for MEOWMEOW, he's going to be on the back foot here. We're going to see that Tessa lay an Oblivion onto the Leo, and then we're going to see YUMARU push the advantage with Pra, giving speed buff to the entire team, and his goal should be to lap the entire team and eventually just wear his opponent down. So we're going to see that heal and that speed buff going down, but we're going to see that Tessa probably lay Oblivion into the Leo here and then press the advantage and win the game.
Ooh, look at that damage. It's massive. Able to get the Oblivion, defense break land, and that's going to be it for the Leo. All the damage in the world coming right back to YUMARU here.
Yeah, absolutely massive damage. And unfortunately, when MEOWMEOW takes a Moor and an Artemel together, he doesn't really have a way to come back. There really isn't much of a win condition unless this Artemel stuns everything. But once this Oblivion goes onto the Artemel, that Oblivion should have gone on the Artemel, because the only way that MEOWMEOW comes back is if he Despair Stuns everything with this Artemel. So MEOWMEOW is really on the back foot here. Needs a lot to go his way in order to come back.
Yep, he was able to take a couple turns there with the Tianlang. Tianlang shook that Oblivion. Tessarian now is in very rough shape at the moment.
Yeah, Tessarian definitely in rough shape at the moment here. But again, this Tianlang's going to go down, and we're going to have heals coming from Praha here. So as long as Masha's able to land Defense Break onto Artemel at some point later in the game, YUMARU's, again, going to be in a good spot.
Ooh, YUMARU is in a very good spot with the defense break and Oblivion landing on top of that Arda. Arda's going to be taking some damage right here.
Yeah, wow, and that's a big proc from the Oliver here. But wisely realizing that he needed to lay an Oblivion onto the Automail to give himself a chance to win here, does lay that Oblivion and defense break. So YUMARU is going to be in a good spot, is in a great spot, commanding spot here, while doing so much damage to this Automail.
That was crazy. It was a ton of damage, take advantage, defense break on top of Art. YUMARU looking so good right now. There's just not a way that Meow was able to come back here with a Dominic, and Oliver and Praha able to just push back so much attack bar and deal so much multi-hit damage through all of that HP there. YUMARU taking down MEOWMEOW and going to the final, locking in his ticket to Korea.